Hello everybody, thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And right now I wanted to do a video on this massive portal that is opening in this current now moment and what to expect after when we come out of the portal, and why do these even happen, right? So first I want to preface that we live in a time-space continuum. So we have minutes and days and hours. And so when these messages come in, this is happening in a now moment. But for us, it's happening for about 24 to 36 of our human hours, okay? And so we've been preparing, your body has been preparing for this portal for the last 24, 36 hours. And so what that means is when your body starts to prepare for a portal to open, you may feel more exhausted, irritable, frustrated. You may feel like you need to cocoon inward and kind of separate from people. There may be these moments of like, aha, like, wait, why have I been doing this? Why do I act this way? Why do I keep having these behaviors, right? This can also sound like what we've been doing for the last 6 months, okay, or the last year, but it gets more intense. Excuse me, I gotta put this down. It gets more intense right as we're stepping into these portals. Why? Because the body is starting to release or clear out some of the denser consciousnesses, thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, emotions, so that it can have room to hold and anchor in the higher frequencies of light that are coming. It's just very natural. It's what the body knows how to do. It's a very intelligent being that it is, the body. And so we don't necessarily need to understand or do anything, but it helps to have an awareness around what's occurring so you don't beat yourself up and you don't think that there's something wrong with you. So as the body has been preparing for the last 24 to 36 hours, we are now stepping into the moment where all of this high frequency light is starting to come in right now. And it's a slow sort of progression, right? So it's almost like you can imagine that this gate starts to open and the high frequency light starts to come down, and it's coming in from what we call the sun. And we're being watched by all these higher dimensional beings, all these higher consciousnesses, right? The earth is ready. The earth is like, let's go, right? The earth is in charge of all of this. She's in control. She's ready. And this is going to give us a massive shift into a little bit of a higher frequency. It's like a jolt. Like if your heart stopped and you had one of those defibrillators and it jolted your heart, that's what these portals do. They give us a jolt into a little bit of a higher frequency, a skip up, right? And based on where your body is in its frequency will dictate where it will be when we come out of the portal. Everybody's different. Everybody's frequency is a little bit different. So right now, the portal is slowly starting to open and this high frequency light is starting to move in. I'm talking massive. Just imagine that somebody just poured a bucket of water on you. That's how much light is going to start to come in. But because it's such a high frequency, the portal just slowly opens so we can prepare for it. And so what you can do in this now moment, in the next 24 to 36 hours, is you can start to settle into your body more. Take some time just for you. Allow yourself to remember that when we are in these portals, we can actually quantum jump into a higher, which is just a higher consciousness version of us. In these portals, we can quantum jump by releasing Akashic records, releasing old patterns, releasing old behaviors, thoughts, emotions, relationships, jobs. There's a lot that can be released. I want you to imagine that this portal is like a cave that we are moving into. And in that cave, magic can happen if we are conscious. So many of us are becoming conscious of these portals. And when we do, we can actually create in these portals now. So yes, the high frequency light is hitting every single human body, but not every single human body has the consciousness and the awareness within it to do anything with it. So the body is going to do its best to sort of filter some of that light. But if the human isn't consciously aware of allowing and clearing this consciousness by feeling it, assisting the body in anchoring the light by allowing the body to rest, by allowing the body to be, right? All these things we've been practicing as a consciously awakened human, ascending human, then the unconscious human isn't going to feel much. There isn't going to be much of a shift for them. When you ascend, you have to be conscious. Otherwise, it's like pouring water through an open, one of those spaghetti cylinders where the water just goes through. That's what it's like, right? So the high frequency light goes into these humans that are not awake yet, and it just goes right through, which is fine. It does stick a little bit. There are some shifts in consciousness and a little bit of awakening, so it does assist, but the human has to wake up and take participation, and that's what you're doing right now. So I want you to imagine that you're in a cave full of high frequency light, and you get to make magic right now. You get to make magic right now. You're in a cave of light. What are you releasing? What are you let going of? What Akashic record are you letting go finally, right? What relationships, what jobs, what careers, what anything? What are you bringing in? What are you jumping into? And all of this is in the quantum space, so it's in a now moment. But this portal, when we start to wake up to them, is magic. There's so much that can happen in the next 24 to 36 hours for you, which is why I'm doing this video, to remind you, because there's going to be more portals and more portals and more portals, and each time you get to be the creator being that you are. So right now, while we're in the portal, we're starting to jump into the portal, you're going to feel like cocooning. You may feel irritable. You may feel exhausted, right? You may feel high frequency light all around you. You may feel like a heightened sense of all energies, like everything's just buzzing, right? Like you're off the ground flying. That's very normal in these portals. You may feel a sense of absolute calm and peace. Like, oh my God, everything feels so great right now. I feel like I'm on morphine. There's a lot of different ways that we can feel the experience of being in the portal, right? So feel right now. Start to ground into your body and feel everything. Don't judge. Don't attach. You're in a cave full of light. You're releasing out one door. You're creating in another. This is a massive time for quantum jumping, which means that you leave one frequency and you are stepping into a new frequency of you, which is exactly what is actually energetically happening. So what's energetically happening is that the body is receiving high frequency light, and it's going to start to anchor some of that high frequency light down. And so what happens is when your body starts to anchor more of the high frequency light, there is this steady kind of line that you're always anchored in that's continuing to shift very slightly and very slowly into higher frequencies. And while there's this steady line that you're anchored in, the body is still moving up and down in frequency. So you're still going to feel high frequencies, expanded and contracted lower frequencies, right? Up and down, because the body's holding all of it. But it is anchored down into a specific frequency that it holds. It's like this steady line that you always come back to. It's how you view the world, even though you're moving up and down. And this line, this anchored frequency, is constantly, slowly moving up. That's ascension. And as it does, your frame of reference, the way you see the world, the way you experience things, the way you respond and react, the way you connect to you, your higher frequency, your I am presence, your higher self, the spirit and light that you are inside, all your guides, all the galactic beings, all of this starts to shift. The divine blueprint, your gifts, your purpose, the light codes start to shift and turn on as we anchor these lights into our bodies, right? And so what's going to happen is, as we continue to ascend, this state of anchored frequency starts to move up. And when we come out of the portal, out of that light cave, what we'll find is a very slight shift in the way we see things, in the way we are viewing our reality, in the way we are responding to things. All of a sudden, you're going to come out and you're going to say, you know what, I think I'm ready to write that book. Or I think I'm ready to start drawing. I think I'm ready to let go of that relationship. I think I'm ready to bring in a relationship now. I know I'm worthy. Oh my God, I'm so worthy that I don't need to be in this relationship anymore. Or I'm so worthy and so abundant, I can let go of that job and create a new one. Or I keep that job and create a new one. oh my God, that's right, I'm a creator being. Or you start to connect into the higher realms and you're like, oh my God, there are beings around me. Things start to slowly shift. However, that's that state, that anchored state. You're still doing this. We do not stay like this in a flat line in Ascension, right? So you're going to go like this after this portal. You're gonna feel the lower frequencies, irritability, anxiousness, fear, sadness. Who knows what you may feel? Jealousy, right? I don't know, but you're gonna feel it. It's part of being human. But you're also gonna feel the expanded states. But the key here is that the anchored frequency that you are going to be at is going to be a little bit higher. And that's jumping timelines. That's stepping into a higher version of you, right? And if you're aware of it and you're choosing it, then what is this next highest version of you doing? Here you are right now. Here you are going, higher frequency you. What does this version of you look like? What are you doing, feeling, being, experiencing? That's how we create in the midst of a portal. Do you understand? That's how you create. So here we are in the cave full of light. And we know that we are going to come out of that cave and our anchored physicality, the frequency, will be at a higher frequency. And in this creative process, what do you want? What do you want to release? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to enter into? And then you have patience, because again, when you are here, when you jump, when you quantum leap, you're still going to go like this. You're still going to do it. But you have shifted. You've shifted. So you're here now. And you're going to experience things differently, but it's a subtle shift. It's a subtle shift. This is what's happening right now. This is the power of this portal that we're entering into. And so you can take advantage of this by being in it as an observer, consciously, participating, diving into it. This is what's going to happen as we continue to awaken into these higher states of consciousness. We're going to become more creator beings. We're going to start to participate in these, as opposed to just being like, oh, I'm in a portal. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I think it's great. No, now you know. Now you know what it means that when your body starts to prepare for it, right? It's going to want a cocoon. There's denser consciousnesses that are going to come up. You're going to feel more intense, denser consciousnesses. You're going to start to recognize, ooh, this doesn't feel right anymore. Oh my God, I need to speak my truth more. All these things are going to start to come up quickly within 24 hours. And then boom, the portal opens. Here you are in the cave. Maybe you're feeling high frequencies. Maybe you're feeling exhaustion. Totally normal, part of the plan. That's what your body needs. And when we're in it, it's time to create, or it's time to just sit and be. Sometimes all you want to do is just sit and be with that light. Just sit and absorb. Be a part of the journey. Be a part of what your body is experiencing and receiving. And then when we come out, you'll feel the difference. You'll know the difference. The more you're in your body and you're feeling this, you will feel when the portal has closed. You will feel when the light has dissolved. You'll feel it. Because right before the portal opens, it feels heavy, right? This morning felt heavy. It felt funky. It felt like, what is going on, right? Like there was density that was clearing, preparing us for this massive portal that's so magnificent. And when we come out, you will see just a tad bit differently. You will respond just a tad bit differently. You will feel just a tad bit differently. Why are these things happening? Because we are on an ascension path. The earth is on an ascension path, which means that she is constantly moving into higher frequencies and higher states of being so that she can shift and anchor into the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh dimensional fields. Anchor. Now remember, this is the anchor point, right? The frequency that our body is anchored down into, even though it's holding higher frequencies and lower frequencies. Sorry, I was looking at something. You know what I mean? So the earth is doing the exact same thing. Exact same thing. So it's going like this, and we are too. So this point, if we could step on a scale and find out what our anchored frequency is, it'd be fabulous. Some of you are at a 3.9, 4.2, 4.3, 3.8, 3.7, 3 meaning third dimensional, 4.1 meaning fourth dimensional, and eventually we'll be anchored in a 5, but we're not there yet. So this is what's happening. Enjoy this portal. Journal, meditate, sit, take time for yourself. Separate from your family, your friends, your children, your loved ones if you want to, if it resonates. Light candles, go in a bathtub. Take advantage. 24 to 36 hours from right now, which is May 20th. And again, this is just a linear way of seeing it. If you're watching this in another now moment, do it anyway. Create your light portal anyway. May not have a massive light portal coming in, but do it anyway. Because we can always make these quantum shifts. That's the other beautiful gift. We can always do these quantum shifts. We can always start to go and choose to jump into a higher state of consciousness. It just takes you connecting deeper into your body and in your beingness and in your frequency and choosing and understanding how to do it. What does it look like? How do you choose that? What do you have to let go of? There's always frequencies you have to release to jump. Always. But the reason that it's easy to do it when we are in a portal is that we are consumed by such high frequency that we are not inundated by the lower dimensional field pulling us and holding us down, trying to keep us. I'm not saying a being is or consciousness is, but the field keeps us in that density. It's like quicksand. It's really hard to get out. When we're in the cave full of light, it's much easier. It's much easier to choose. It's much easier to anchor. It's much easier to jump. It's easier to feel the high frequency light. It's easier for your body to anchor more light. So there you go. Don't beat yourself up right now. We're starting to step into a portal. And it's a fast portal, and it's a heavy, intense portal. If you're exhausted, lay. If you're irritable, let it be. If you need to be alone and cocoon, honor that. These are powerful moments for us. And the more we can access them and be in them consciously, the more we will be able to get the juice out of the experience. You'll be able to be right there with your body, absorbing the high frequency. You're aware of it. You're working, co-creating with the body. It's not just the body anymore. It's you, the ego, the mind, the personality, the higher self, the I am presence. It's all of these aspects coming together as this one multidimensional human, choosing to now say, I'm part of this. It's not just the body anymore anchoring. And I want to be a part of this. I want to choose. I want to create. I want to make. I want a part of this. Let's go. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to do it again. And then we start doing it without the portals. Enjoy. Magic right now. I love you. Thank you for being on this ride with me. Thank you for jumping down into that physical body that you're in. It knows how to do this, and now you're awake, you're conscious, and you get to do it with your body. You get to do it with the high frequency light beings around you. You get to do it. Yay! Okay, I love you. Mwah.